Hello, Louie.
Hi, Lorraine.
We are quickly approaching the end of this totally BS year. I actually heard someone the other day talking about how it's really funny how all of us are thinking like, oh yeah, it's going to be the end of 2020. But in all honesty, like what's going to be the difference between December 31st and January 1st? I mean, it's very likely that we're still going to be in a pandemic.
Very likely, but
we might have vaccines. Who knows? Maybe. I don't know. Like, obviously there's going to be a change of, presidents. So that hopefully will mean something good for us, for everyone. But yeah, we are quickly approaching the end of 2020. We are going to be talking with this awesome young man, John Chou. He is the project director for lvtownfridge. I'm just so impressed with this young man. He's got it all going for him, and he's helping the community, just totally, came up with this idea, executed it, and was like, I'm doing this.
yeah.
And because it's lvtownfridge that we're talking about in pandemic provisions, today, Louie, we are talking about our fridge staple items, our favorite fridge staple items. And I'm going to go ahead and start because I have a little show and tell of my own.
Oh,
Desert Bloom Eco
Desert Bloom eggs.
Eggs. So I love eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, maybe more than like almost anything except chocolate and coffee. Eggs is up there like in the top 5 of things that I love. I love eggs like a crazy person. Like I will do scrambled, I will do omelets, obviously souffles, fried eggs, sunny side up, over easy. Poached, I think is like my favorite.
And Claudia's eggs are very special. These are not the kinds of eggs that you just like get at Walmart that are probably like handled industrially.
They're farm fresh.
They're very farm fresh. They're chickens. They even have names for their chickens. So
they love their chickens.
Yep.
And they have plenty of space to roam. We've been inside there.
And each egg has been checked before
literally
it's delivered to you. Literally.
Louie, what's your staple?
My staple is chocolate milk. I love milk.
That's a staple. Chocolate milk is a staple.
Yeah, chocolate milk. I love milk. But like you said, you love chocolate. It's there, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's either chocolate milk or chocolate almond milk.
Okay.
Can't live without it. Even when I travel, the first thing I do is like I go to a little grocery and I have like a little one of those silk almond milk, and I stick that into my hotel room fridge because I just like having almond milk flavored nothing.
It's your thing.
It's my thing. It's my special thing. Or if not, chocolate milk from like a reputable dairy farm. I like Shamrock Farms, actually. They're pretty good.
Do you dip with the chocolate milk or just with milk? Like, do you dip cookies or dip anything in your chocolate milk?
Have you tried Oreo and chocolate milk?
Yes.
It's pretty double.
It's chocolate overload.
Yeah, double the level of chocolate there. But yeah, it's just my thing.
So we're going to go ahead and move on to lvtownfridge with John Chou, where he will be talking about the things that they need in their fridge. Louie, today we are chatting with the project director of lvtownfridge. Mr. John Chou is with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I'm excited.
Okay, so we're going to start with explaining exactly what lvtownfridge is and how and why you got this started.
It originally started off with, okay, we'll first get one fridge in. in the city and see how it goes. And then now we're beginning to see potential for a lot more fridges and a lot more interest in these fridges. That being said, these fridges are just another way. It's a community fridge. And so it is a fridge serviced by the community for the community, allows basically anyone, restaurants, other organizations, other nonprofits, your neighbor, you yourself, anyone to come in, donate some food, and and then having other people come by and take that food.
And how did you come up with the idea?
At the beginning of the pandemic, I was in the middle of applying to med school, and then I was getting a little bored and a little just like tired of writing these applications every day. And so I was like, hey, what is something else I can do? And so I started volunteering at the local food bank here, 3 Square, and along with a couple of their other distributions around town. And a common theme that I saw was, despite the hundreds of cars / families that were coming by to get this food, there was also a lot of leftover, like bread, produce, just food, that the delivery drivers or that 3 Square themselves couldn't bring back to the warehouse, just because it's like their own like regulations that they have in place. And so it kind of all clicked in my head one day, because I was working at another distribution site at a church down in Henderson, and then they get they rescue food from like grocers, so like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Sprouts, Walmart, these kind of places. And so they were bringing in an absurd amount of food every day. That being said, the people that they serve they don't use that much food. So then it got to a point where I was tasked with the job of like throwing away all the food that they didn't have. And it
Must
was
have felt
insane.
awful.
That's a horrible job.
Yeah, I was like wheeling out. I had to do multiple trips, like 2 shopping carts in hand, each trip, just of like perfectly good bread. Like maybe it was like a day old, but it was like, it's a day old. So like
It makes you feel sick, doesn't it?
Yeah, literally a dumpster full of bread, not to mention all the produce and other stuff that some other volunteer was handling. So yeah, bread, pastries. It was 4th of July weekend, so I just kept seeing it was mocking me, like these like fruity colored cookies and sugar cookies just like getting thrown in the dumpster. And then so just when I was having these thoughts, I was on Instagram and saw that this concept of a community fridge. And then because I had some nonprofit experience, or a little bit of experience on the back end of a lot of these, rescue operations or community gardens, like these food justice efforts in LA, as a result of my minor, I was able to see, or like think in my head, that these efforts aren't, based in rocket science and like scientific method. I mean, like, not even to say like that, because there is a little bit of it in there just with everything, but it wasn't like I needed to, muster up like thousands of dollars and then get an LLC and do all this other, I don't know, like bureaucratic stuff to get one of these fridges up. We got a fridge from one of our volunteers, or one of the volunteers, and then it became a matter of seeing who was willing to host it.
So I believe you have one on Main Street right now and one on Sweeney.
Yes.
So how did you come up with these locations, and then how will you come up with locations in the future?
So the Sweeney one is actually it was a pre-existing fridge that I got to be acquainted with while researching whether Vegas had any of these fridges. And so we saw that, so her name is Kim Foster. She's like an angel.
Yes. We love her. She's an amazing food writer. We've had her on the podcast.
Heck yeah. No, she's amazing. I was like, read her thing, and I was blown away. I was like, it's just so vivid. It was beautiful. But yeah, she had her fridge up, and then I reached out to her like, hey, this is great. Like, what, like how I'm thinking about putting up another one. And we got to talking. She gave me some recommendations, some tips, and then
she's so generous.
Yeah, amazing. Like the way she like allots her time to everyone is baffling. Anyways, so it became a lot of outreach on my part at that point, and so I was just driving out 3-4 times a week into like different businesses, a lot of cold calls. And then finally, the original premise was to get it in downtown because there's such like a high rate of food insecurity there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started realizing driving around town, it was like the only thing going on in my head anytime I drove, like, could this place use a fridge? Where could a fridge go in this place? And then so I started realizing that the need for food exists basically everywhere. And although like the ideal location would have been downtown, like I was just like, whatever location could have a community fridge, I think it would be good because of the bus routes, because of all, just people's natural migratory patterns, I guess. But then luckily we were able to find a spot over at UMOC, United Movement of Organized Kindness, because I was volunteering there for another project. I was helping Food Not Bombs build some huts, some of those homeless huts. And then from there, it became of like, oh, you're with the town fridge? Like, oh, do you want to talk to Sophie? Do you want to talk to Peter? Do you want to, let's see what they have to say about it. And then from there, it was boom, 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 boom. Like all the red lights became green lights, and then everything started like clicking into place.
So you started just the middle of the summer, I think, right? In July?
Yes.
So how's it been going? Like what's been your feedback?
It's been amazing, honestly, because I thought it was just going to be mainly me continuing these like food, like volunteering at these 3 square sites, and then dropping off the leftover food there, like whenever I do go out there. But the amount of support, the amount of people that were like really jiving with the idea just blew me away. So now we have like a lot of people like going over there, from like restaurants and food trucks to other nonprofits, to just like people in the area, and other people driving like 30 minutes over there to drop off some food. And what we saw in the first couple of weeks, and even till now, but the fridge has an extremely high turnover rate. So like, let's say the fridge is full at 9 a.m. Everyone gets in there before 9 and fills it up. And then by 9:30, 10 at tops, like it's empty or like already in the process of getting filled up for the next hour.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's crazy the amount of need that exists on that street. I guess I'm just an optimist, but I just really do believe that everyone, if they have an opportunity to help, or an opportunity that's like an accessible way to help,
Right.
they will.
An
Right?
easier way.
An easier way, because these food banks, they don't like take these, they're not going to take your like sack of potatoes that you just bought on accident. But this fridge will. And so I hear people message us on Instagram. They're like, oh, thank you for the opportunity. Like, I think it's so great. Like, thank you for making it easier for us to help. Like, it reflects on like how good I think the community is. The fact that like it's maintained, and of course like the wind, and some people will open the fridge from the other side, so like the insulation kind of like rips off. But then that's like we're gonna get a new fridge. Like, it's gonna like, those are all like very small problems, and I have to like give credit to UMOC again, because they're so like accommodating. They're like, oh yeah, like we'll just paint it up again. Like, oh, we'll just get a new fridge in there. And they've just been like on the dot, like ready, like, oh, the city gave us a ticket. Oh, we'll fight it. Like, it's okay. And so it's amazing. And then I'm just like blown away. That being said, when I do go down there and I get to talk to people, they're always like, oh, this is amazing. Like, but we want bananas, but like, oh, can we, like, can people give us bananas? How about milk and stuff like this? And then you'll just see like a really, like, people are diverse, like people are different. And so it's just nice seeing how like they're all coming to the fridge because everyone needs food.
Yeah, that's actually great. So anybody can bring like donations and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
It's not just like restaurants or food banks or whatever.
Yeah, as long as the raw ingredients are always good, except raw meat. But anything that's cooked, just ingredients need to be labeled, and the date of input, or like the date of cooking.
Gotcha. So I can like show up there with like box meals and stuff, and ready to go.
Yeah, everything is kind of overseen by but everything is overseen. All liability issues are like covered by this like Bill Emerson Good Samaritan Food Donation Act of like the 1980s.
Okay.
And yeah, I spoke to the health district, and then they were like, yeah, best of luck. Like, you're good.
Oh,
Good
wow.
luck. Go forward.
Yeah,
That's
seriously.
that's the first time I really like saw a green light from the health district just like that. Huh?
Yeah,
Because
exactly. And I
usually
even,
they're very very picky and proddy with like
yeah, that's what I expected. I was even like kind of like scared to even call them or like email them at first. I was like, oh,
Are
Right?
you
please,
sure?
no.
Like, can I get
Yeah,
around it?
yeah, right. And then literally, yeah, can I get around that? And then so I was just like, you know what, F it. Like I'm gonna email him, and then gave him the premise of the idea, and boom, he's like, talk to my supervisor and some of my other coworkers. They love it. Like best of luck. Like you'll be good. Just let us know where they are, and we'll let the health code people like just keep a lookout for them.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
you mentioned bananas and milk.
Mm-hmm.
Are there other things, like more specifically that you can think of that what we can bring to help? I know
Or
anything, but it's like, are there certain things that maybe you need more of or they need more of or that you get requests for?
yeah.
Uh,
Or is there like a
always.
list online that people can tap
We
into?
have like food donation guidelines, but we don't have anything. Because I feel I'm always scared that if I put like an SOS in, everyone's gonna start donating that
Right.
stuff.
Exactly.
And so
Okay.
we want to keep it like diverse, and we still want like variety in it. But one thing that I do see, um, like a gentleman the other day was like, "Hey man, just can you give me?" He gave me his phone number. It's like, "Hey, can you let me know at any time like you have eggs in there, just like frozen
Okay.
eggs or like even like regular eggs." Other people, a nice woman, I came by with like some like salads from Cluckett Farm, like greens, fresh greens, and she was like, "Oh yeah, thank you. I just wanted to come by and like see if there's anything healthy."
So I found out that you worked as a farmhand in Japan
Yeah.
for worldwide
What kind of farm?
opportunities in organic farming. Louis, that's the same organization that Desert Bloom works with to bring
Oh,
their
perfect.
farmhands in. So it's pretty interesting. But go ahead and answer Louis' question. Like, what kind of farm was it? Like, what was it like? Kind of
What'd
describe
you
your
do?
experience.
What's
Yeah.
your job description as a farmhand? Like,
Yeah. So I went out there for 3 months. It was kind of my thing. Like, oh, so I graduated, and I've always been like, I don't know. I like wandering. Like I don't like staying in a place for too long. And I'm even thinking that now, but this fridge thing is kind of getting in there. Anyways, so I went over to Japan just because I wanted to pay homage to my late aunt, and then like really kind of see the culture and like just be around that food culture, like that kind of like local production kind of a thing, small scale farming. And then so I went over there. I worked on a total of 3 farms during that 3 month stint. The first farm I worked on was in a small town in Shibetsu in Hokkaido. I think that's the name. That might be the name. But it was a dairy farm, and so
okay.
it was like middle of winter dairy farm. And I mean like I had no expectations, but like I like it was, needless to say, there was a lot of like cows and there's a lot of cow manure, and my tasks every day, like waking up 4 a.m. It's like dairy farms operate on a 12 hour schedule, 12-hour shifts. So I'd wake up in the morning at 4, get in there by 6. I'll get in there by 5, and then clean up all the cows, milk the cows, and then be back in there like 12
We're
hours
talking
later.
about like a motorized like a milker, right?
Yeah, not like not
Manually.
hand. Yeah,
Because that
not manually. I
you
kind of
said
wish.
small. You said small farm, so
Yeah,
you know,
small farm. I think there was like
yeah,
30, 40 cows over there,
that's
but
still a lot of milking.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of milking.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
milking.
a lot of milking. Way more poo, believe it or
Oh, way
not.
more poo than milk.
Yeah.
Oh
Uh,
man.
but then yeah, after that experience, I was like, okay, whatever this farm, like if this farm like puts me, like picking up sand on the beach, I think I'll be okay. And then they were like, they blew my expectations away. Like it was amazing. Like it was just vegetable farming, applying fungicide onto grape trees, and some like contracting work. It's just like everything. But that was amazing. Like even I talk about the cow experience like kind of reservedly, but it was amazing. Like it was probably still to this day one of the most fun experiences of my life.
You've mentioned that you volunteer for Three Square Food Bank. And I know that you've worked with some nonprofits in Los Angeles as well. You also mentioned Food Not Bombs. So, why have you made food insecurity your mission? Because it seems like there's a theme going on here.
I don't know, like growing up, I think food has always just been there for me. Like my single mom, like made sure that there at like the very least there was like food at the table when I came back. And
Right.
then as I got older, I originally like took that food studies minor thinking, you know, I was gonna learn the chemical process behind like I guess like the Maillard reaction or like stuff like that. Like I thought I was gonna be Alan Brown, right? And so I was like really excited. And the first class I think was just on like food injustice and like food insecurity, um, food systems, and then it really began to dawn on me just how messed up everything is and like where everything is going, and then just the amount of waste there was, and then going through all these farms and nonprofits, seeing how their whole like business model is just redistributing this waste.
So you're pretty fresh out of college, and go
Mhm.
Bruins, by the way.
Go Bruins, yeah. Shout out
UCLA.
Lorraine. Go Bruins.
So you have a BS in physiological science and a minor in food studies, as we mentioned. So what are your career aspirations? Like, where is this all going to go? Because obviously you're getting a great study of all kinds of food systems, as we talked about.
Mhm.
And you talked about going to med school. So where's this all kind of headed for you?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where I'm trying to articulate it every day.
Yeah.
And especially to the med schools, which I don't think they're biting necessarily yet because I'm not really getting a lot of hearbacks, but that's okay. Anyways, I do think my dream is to just be I do want to be a doctor because I do like one of my first loves is like I guess the human body, and then just how complicated it is, but how simple it is, like how it just like melds together, like everything works. And then when it doesn't work, like what you can do to salvage it. And it just, for me, just like it means like a sense of security, like for my family, and then also like knowing that I can help other people achieve that sense of security, and then not even saying like, hey, you need to take this drug ABC, and then we'll see you in like months, but like you could take that, but this is also what you can do, you know,
Food
lifestyle
as
wise,
medicine.
food
Food
as
as
medicine.
medicine.
Right.
Exactly. And so hopefully the food thing plays into that. Hopefully
Oh, it will.
yeah, right.
It all will.
It will.
Hopefully the cellular agriculture thing can inform it more in terms of like what kind of therapies, in terms of what kind of like parenteral nutrition patients can get when they are in the hospital for extended periods of time. Like I hope, I don't know, I think I see like the possibilities for both food and medicine, and I just want to tackle both of them. That being said, I think when I'm tired of that, I'm just going to retire to a farm and then just live
Seriously
at my
though,
own
med
pace.
schools, do you hear that? You have
Yeah.
somebody that is looking at the bigger picture, and we need more doctors like that. Let's move on to show and tell. So John Chow, what do you got for us?
All right, folks, I have this book. It's called The Third Plate by Dan Barber. You guys may or may not have heard
Love
of
Dan
this.
Barber, yes.
Mhm. So this book was prescribed to me, quote unquote, by this one professor that I had in college. I think it was like maybe my second year in the minor. And until then, I was just kind of like, okay, I'm just learning, you know, like same as I've always done. It's like when I'm in an English class, I'm like reading like Shakespeare. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm learning, whatever. But then this book really like changed it for me, because the way he like described the food system, the way he described the potential for you know, the future of food and where gastronomy can go when everyone is just practices just a little bit more mindfulness. It spoke a lot to me, and it just, yeah, from that point on, after this book, it became like I think food became like, it was like a reawakening of like, wow, like this is like one of my things. Like I have friends who are like artists, and like friends who are like musicians in bands, and they're getting featured on Apple Music, and I have artists who are like getting exhibitions and doing all this stuff, and I'm like, do I even have something like that? Like, because it's like medicine is cool and I love it, but like it is one of my passions, but there's like something else that I know like I felt was missing. And then for me, like this book just like showed me that like food is that thing, and it's always been that thing since I was a kid, like watching Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives and like all this like Alton Brown and all that. So it was like it like clicked in my head, like boom.
Okay,
right,
on the fly with John Chou of Las Vegas Town Fridge. Louie, go. You're trilingual. What was the hardest to learn, Mandarin, Japanese, or English?
Ooh, Japanese.
Childhood food craving.
Soda.
Favorite SoCal beach?
Roy Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the good one.
Feel good music.
Ooh, like world music. It's like that genre on Apple Music. It's like everything.
Best spot to hang out at UCLA?
Jan Steps.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's a
Yeah,
great view. I'm going to go
good.
Sculpture Garden.
Yeah, yeah, fair. You were probably a North Campus major though, that's why.
Yeah, more North Campus.
Dream place to travel and eat.
Travel and eat Japan.
We're going to keep going. Current food obsession?
Oh my gosh, sandwiches.
Sammy's.
Yeah, I love making Sammys.
Best holiday side dish.
Stuffing.
One last question. One guilty pleasure.
Soda.
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
Yeah.
You love
it's
soda?
What do you drink?
Yeah,
What do you drink,
all of
man?
it. Right now I'm
Oh.
drinking those. Right now I'm drinking those sparkling waters. I'm drinking the Ahas, but Dr. Pepper's there.
We're going to sell it for Las Vegas Town Fridge. So how can people reach you? What do you need? That kind of thing. This is your time.
Okay, number one, locations. So if you're a business, if you're a nonprofit, if you're a school, if you are any place that has an accessible location, either inside or outside the property, and you want to host a fridge, and you want to be another point of access for people, both people who want to donate and people who want to take from the fridge, reach out, lvtownfridge@gmail.com. You can try my mobile, 702-885-4358. Leave a voicemail. I'll get back to you. Or just find us on Instagram. Let me know. Everything else, it's pretty low maintenance. Like I don't need that much. Like I'll just like post updates on the fridge, and then everything else is a little bit of back end stuff. Like we're working with the city right now. So if anyone from the city is listening, toss us a bone, maybe two. let us get through you. We'll work with you, I should say. So that being said, no, thank you guys. I think that's all I have to
Thank you. Seriously,
Yeah, thank you.
You're a young treasure. Like we're excited for your future, and we really hope to be able to call you Dr. John Chou,
Dr.
Dr.
Don
Draper Chou.
Yeah.
One day, seriously. Thank you for what you do for the community. It's awesome.
No, thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys giving this platform out and using these platforms for showcasing parts of Vegas or people. I think people are treasures, like you said. So it's amazing.